All right, so it's time to either add or replace a vehicle with the family. You want something sporty. Maybe your spouse wants something a little bit more practical, maybe something with 3 rows of seating. Well, you don't always need to make compromises. And here, this 2020 Ford Explorer ST is kind of the best of both worlds. Here we have a nice mid-size crossover SUV with luxury car comfort, nice spacious interior with 3rd row seating. But on the other hand, this is a performance vehicle. It features a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 pumping out 400 horsepower. You have a sport-tuned suspension, beefed up brakes, more aggressive styling. You have a brand new rear-wheel drive platform, but this one features all-wheel drive, making this quite the performance crossover SUV. In fact, 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, that's quicker than maybe some earlier generations of the Mustangs, like in maybe some 90s, early 2000s Mustangs. I think it would actually out-accelerate them. So pretty amazing performance. This is a clean Carfax vehicle, 38,529 miles. Recent addition to our inventory. We have the original build sheet on this one. $58,420. This is a 2020 Ford Explorer ST 4-wheel drive, the performance version of the Explorer. The ST comes fairly well equipped with features because it's more of a range topping model, so it has a lot of standard equipment. But this does have a few optional items on it. This Star White metallic tri-coat was a $595 premium exterior color. This has a premium technology package that was $995, giving you an upgraded 14-speaker sound system, an upgraded 10-inch LCD screen. It looks like it was borrowed from a smaller version of the screen from a Tesla Model S. Then we have a 10-inch LCD portrait touchscreen, multi-contour front seats. The ST Street Pack, which was $995, giving you performance brakes, and upgraded 21-inch aluminum wheels. Original MSRP was close to $60,000. Like I said, one of the more range-topping trim levels for the Explorer. Beautiful leather interior with nice contrast stitching. 2020 is a significant year for the Explorer because it got a pretty significant facelift, or you could even say redesign. Maybe we might bore you, but we're going to go back in time and talk a little bit about the history of the Ford Explorer and why, switching to this new platform was significant. So way back in time when the original Explorer came out, I remember my dad actually worked at a Ford dealership. Pretty cool vehicles. Explorer came out in the early 90s. I think in 91 was the first year for the Explorer. It was basically based off the Ford Ranger platform. So basically it's a Ford Ranger with a SUV body instead of a pickup truck body. Huge success. It doesn't seem very revolutionary now, but back then it was a revolutionary vehicle. Sport utility vehicles were kind of a newer thing back then. And the Explorer sold well, but slowly the sales started declining, and being built on that body-on-frame truck-based architecture helped it for maybe its off-road prowess and towing, but did not help for refinement and on-road manners. So Ford switched to a unibody platform. So basically, instead of building it like a truck, they started building it like a car, which made it lighter, gave it better driving dynamics, but it made it more car-like and less truck-like. And one of the disadvantages of switching to that unibody construction is they went to a front-wheel drive platform. So the primary drive for the vehicles is coming from the front wheels. It's great for economics and packaging. Front-wheel drive platforms can free up more space. Even though four-wheel drive was optional, the primary drive wheels were the front wheels. So under performance driving, there are limitations to the front-wheel drive vehicles because you're asking the wheels to do a lot. They have the majority of the weight of the vehicle. They're handling the majority of the braking, they're steering. They're doing a lot of things. It's a lot less balanced. And especially for performance driving, sometimes with front-wheel drive based platforms, you get too hard on the throttle, those front wheels are putting a lot of power to the ground. You can get torque steer, so it almost feels like the steering wheel is trying to wrestle out of your hands. So for 2020, when Ford did a major update to the Explorer, they kept the unibody architecture, so it's still not built on a truck frame. It's built like a car with unibody architecture, but they went back to a rear-wheel drive platform. So instead of the transmission being next to the engine up front, the transmission is behind the engine. Instead of being horizontally mounted, the engine is longitudinally mounted, which helps weight distribution and balance. Does take away a little interior space, but having that rear-wheel drive platform significantly improved the handling and performance and feel of the Explorer. So the primary drive wheels are the rear wheels now, and then obviously with all-wheel drive it can send power to the front wheels as needed. And that was a great opportunity to offer the first performance version of the Explorer, the ST. So there you go, a little Ford Explorer history. Sometimes it bores people, but maybe if you're interested in buying an Explorer, maybe you're curious a little bit about the history of the product. So nice leather up steering wheel, really cool contrast stitching. You have the ST logo right there. It's nice contoured, feels wonderful in your hands. You have a completely digital gauge cluster. You can configure it with interlock style gauges. We've talked about this really cool touchscreen. We have a parking camera. We have a nice overhead camera. Almost looks like there's a drone flying on overhead, showing the camera from down below. Heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats. B&O sound system. This one has a Ford all-season match. You can see the kick plate shows the Ford Performance, hinting at the performance potential of this Explorer ST, and it's pretty quick. 0 to 60, I think, is 5.2 seconds. That's what Car and Driver got one to do. For a vehicle that size, that's pretty good. And with 400 horsepower, that's a significant amount of power. Third row seats are right under here, easily accessible. You have nice second row captain's chairs. The second row seats are heated, rear climate control. We also have integrated sunshades as well, nice for those youngsters in car seats. This thing's in great shape. It was just freshly detailed. Really nice shape. I don't think you'll have any reservations at all about the conditions. Another hint to the performance potential of this Explorer ST is a quad tip exiting exhaust. We also have a tow hitch. You know, obviously, you know, it's not a truck, but this thing is capable of doing a decent amount of towing as well. Power rear liftgate, cargo area protector. It's fairly easy to put the third row seats up and down. You have this lever, these buttons right here to fold them up and down. You can do them individually, or you can use this button in the middle to do them both simultaneously. Beautiful black wheels are a nice contrast with the white exterior. Really like the nice front end styling too. And another cool thing about the Explorers is that you might notice that they're popular with law enforcement. You know, a white Explorer coming up behind you in the rearview mirror, you could be a Washington State Patrol. So people kind of a tendency to remember, the shapes and looks of police vehicles. So, you might have a lot of people moving out of your way if you like to drive fast in the left-hand lane. This might be the perfect vehicle for you. I can tell you, I definitely pay attention, and out of caution, sometimes I'll move aside and yield to Explorers coming down fast, thinking it might be a WSP or something like that. Here's that fantastic 3-liter twin turbo V6, 400 horsepower. This is a newer engine for Ford. Before these, use a 3.5-liter V6 in the Explorers. This also is the same engine that you find in similar Lincoln products. One awesome performance luxury crossover with third row seating. We have great promotions going on right now. Complimentary delivery to Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. We can put this in our car hauler. We can tow it to you. So our mobile delivery service, this beautiful Explorer ST could be all yours without leaving your neighborhood or your driveway. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day and hope to see you soon.